So after we're done explaining everything, we're gonna finish off the segment with, and if you've got any problems, you can email me at the email we have, obviously. So that's my idea for the first segment. What do you guys think? This is some good stuff. This is what we're talking about. These are the kind of ideas we want. We don't want this humor, boring, penetrating, slop anymore. We want something new. Yeah, sounds like we're all in agreement. Now we just need a name for this little show here. Anyone got any ideas? How about we call it Undiagnosed Autism? That's funny and probably accurate, but I'm not sure how well it's gonna vibe with everyone else, you know? What if we just called it Noah Bame, the show? That's pretty pretentious. I like it. Let's roll with that, why don't we? What about a peek into the mind of Noah Bame? Bit wordy there. Might need to just shave that down. What about the Bamester and his thoughts? This guy's on fire right here! I'm thinking we might go with that. Yeah. Well, now this is just starting to feel biased. Dude, stay mad about it. This might be a little bit of a hot take, but I'm not sure if we should put your name in the title, because then it kind of feels like Wait. Say that again? I just said this might be a little bit of a hot take, but I don't think that we... Guys, I think we've got a name. All right, let's go out with a bang. Good morning, gamers. Welcome to the Hot Takes Hour. That one didn't. No, we're not. No, don't do that again. Of October 28th, I think. Yeah, that's the one. We're gonna do that again. Good morning, gamers. That one didn't feel right. We're gonna go again. Not the right tone. Going out with a bang. Came out beginning, already knew it was wrong. Go in. Just do it. Why can't you do this? It's not that hard. You've been doing it every single week. Don't overthink. Just go out there. Show them what you got. Good morning, gamers! Welcome to the Hot Takes hour-long special, the absolute definition of going out with a bang. For the past year, I've been doing hot takes every single week that we had school. The weeks we didn't have school, I kind of didn't do them because those don't really count. And also there were some weeks that only had like 2 days of school, and those are kind of iffy. And sometimes I would miss a week because they just wouldn't let me, but then they would make it up by like letting me do 2, and next week, so it all worked out. But there is 1 week that I missed. The week of October 28th, there were no hot takes because I had pneumonia and I couldn't do them. But that all changes because today I'm making up for this lost week with an hour-long special. And if you think about like all the interest that it's accrued via the time that's passed, and like you gotta think about the length and the quality that it needs to happen to make up for it, I basically have to do this hour-long special. So with all that being said, hike up your socks, boys, because we're going in hot! Whew, that was good. That was fun. That was the, that's not some guys do that. Yeah, that's fine. So I figured I would just take a moment before the show properly starts to talk about like what this is, you know, like what exactly is the Hot Takes hour-long special. Well, first of all, it's an hour, shocker. So settle in, you know, grab some snacks, grab some drinks, you know, really make a whole thing out of it. You know, invite your friends if you want. And I'd personally recommend watching it like in one sitting if you can find the time. You know, just what do you got going on? You can't spare an hour? Wow, crazy. So yeah, just really, just settle in, why don't you? Don't go anywhere. Also, something worth mentioning is that I have complete creative control over this project. This is all me on my channel, so I can pretty much do whatever I want. Like, put this green screen car crash in right now. See, there's no green screen car crash, but I could have put one in if I wanted to. Also, because I am sick and tired of abiding by the school's weak sauce rules, like not being able to say but on air. That's a real note they gave me. I wasn't allowed to say but. I'm beginning a little spicy with this hour here. You know, just nothing too bad, but if I had to put a label on it, I would say PG-13. So maybe keep your kids away from the TV when you're watching this one. Also, watch this on one of those big TVs if you can like manage that, you know? I think that'd be great. Also, thanks to my new self-established PG-13 rating, I can finally reveal that this infamous, iconic image, it is not complete. It's incomplete because in reality, there's supposed to be text to this image. Let it be known, I'm gonna die a virgin by choice, and it's gonna be hilarious. Hilarious. Hilarious! Do you hear me? It's gonna be by choice, and it's going to be hilarious. So in the time that I've been doing hot takes, I've done a lot of takes, but since then, a lot of things have changed in the world. Maybe something I've talked about now has an additional thing I need to talk about. Maybe just my opinion has changed. Maybe I just forgot to mention something. It could be a bunch of things, but there's a lot of takes that I think need some updating. So before we jump into some new original take content, I'm just gonna run through a bunch of the takes that I've done in the past and tell you everything that I think needs updating. On April 24th, 2024, the very first hot takes I did, I explained how I could totally beat a goose in a fight. And during my explanation, I said that geese don't have teeth. But in actuality, I was wrong. Geese do have teeth. They're gross. But you know who else has teeth? Me. And let me tell you, when I fight a goose as the ending of this special, buddy, you're about to see some crazy action. This thing is going down, and it's going down hard! On May 17th, I ranked every single Minecraft door in the game. But since then, they've added a new door. And everybody give it up for Pale Oak. And I'm gonna be honest, this might be the best door. I'm not joking. This is a really, really good door. I can imagine this working in a lot of different builds. And like I really like the contrast between the white and the black, and I like it. I really like it. Mojang stepped up their game. They must have seen my segment and they said, we gotta make a new door. We gotta impress this guy. And they impressed me very much. Speaking of Minecraft, on September 6th, I discussed my thoughts and feelings on the Minecraft movie's very first trailer. But since then, the movie's come out now, which means I am not gonna review it this early into the special. Are you kidding me? Do you know nothing about getting good viewer retention, okay? You don't put the thing people want the most at the beginning. You save it until the end. So sit in your seat and munch on that bowl of popcorn a bit more before we actually talk about me saying, ooh, Minecraft movie? That's a movie, all right? You wait your butt down. I don't know what I'm saying, but I've recorded this like 12 times, so I'm not taking it again. Ah! I did also say in that segment that I would be shocked if this movie did not make $1 billion. And, it's getting pretty close. This is from, at the time I'm filming this, 700 million? Maybe? I'm never wrong. On September 16th, I didn't do any hot takes. Instead, those week's takes were done by Jiminy McFimbles, game and fishing extraordinaire. Today I'm here to deliver some brand new game and fishing content to you. First of all, I believe we should talk about Mario Party series and its incorporation of fishing within its minigames. Now, if we look at Castaways... Wait, how long is this segment of yours? I don't know, 15, 20 minutes? 15? You're telling me you were planning to spend a quarter to a third of the special talking about fishing? Well, yeah, I think I deserve the airtime. After all, we are co-hosts of the Hot Take Show. No. We are not co-hosts. I am the host. You hosted one segment, okay? Look, I don't really want to be mean here, but nobody really remembers your segment, man. Well, of course they remember my segment. I did the one that nobody liked. That's also kind of part of the problem. So what do you care about what other people think about you? Always. I always take into consideration other people's opinions. Okay, fine, I don't, but you know what? I am taking into account now, okay? And you're just gonna have to go, boy. Alright, just go on. Get out of there. Get out, yep.
Oh, okay.
And then just go that way. Go that way. Just keep going that way. Keep on keeping on. You're doing great. You just keep on moving those legs. You keep walking, you keep walking, you keep going. He's going. And he's not going yet. Keep going. There's a wall here. I can't keep going. I will just turn that way and head into that closet. Ain't it here? Yeah, there. But it looks dank. It's cold and it's musty. It's not that bad. What am I supposed to do in here? There's some of that, like, fluffy pink insulation stuff. You can, like, touch it and give yourself a rash. Come on, just trust me, but just get in there. Get on in there. It's fine. You'll be fine. Right, you can do it. I believe in you. Let me know when I can come out. Yep, sure will. See you later, buddy. Oh my god. Thank god he's gone. Okay, where were we? On October 6th, I did the only Hot Take segment that involved a special guest. Shout out to Ava Napoli. She was the special guest. She was there for the Mr. NDA thing. And at the end, when the cameras all pan around and stuff, you can see her holding out her hand for a fist bump. And the cameras cut away before I did the fist bump. And then the entire day, all I heard was just, respect, man. You didn't give her a fist bump because she disrespected our school because she said that school would make her better. First of all, she was clearly joking. Second of all, I gave her a fist bump, okay? I did. I remember distinctly giving her a fist bump because she did a great job, all right? And I was sick of it hearing it all day. I gave her a fist bump. I don't care if she disrespected our school as a joke. It was a joke. And also, we are old friends, okay? We are literally next door neighbors and have been for 8 years, okay? I'm giving her a fist bump no matter what. And also, that brings me to our next point. To everyone who said to me, yo, dude, W. Riz, after I did this, shut up, you're weird, go outside, talk to a woman. On November 6th, I just talked about a bunch of video game movies, and I don't know how obvious this is from the segment itself, but literally the only reason I wanted to talk about this was so I could introduce the Sonic the Hedgehog 3 getting a date bit. And I stand by the fact, this bit was funny. Okay, first of all, it was all ironic. I obviously wasn't expecting to get a date. It would have been funnier if I did, but, like, I obviously wasn't expecting to actually get a girl to take me to see Sonic the Hedgehog 3, because also, like, besides, I don't plan on dating anyone anyways, because I'm already dating the grind. That's so dumb. On November 13th, I talked about fast food and how Arby's has the best side out of any fast food place. But I neglected to mention the fact that Arby's onion rings were so good and then they discontinued them. I'm still upset. This is like 5, 6, 7 years ago. I don't remember, but it was a long time ago. And I miss them. Bring back the onion rings. They were good. Speaking of fast food, I want to take this opportunity to talk about Panera grilled cheeses. And by talk, I mean yell. Because how can a restaurant mess up a grilled cheese this consistently? It is literally cheese, bread, butter, slapped on a stove. How do you mess it up? I swear, because I feel like every time I go to Panera, the cheese is just rubbery instead of melty, and the bread is whiter than meat. It's not toasted at all. I swear to God. And sometimes I go there and I literally have cheese that is burnt. How do you burn the cheese and barely toast the bread? The cheese doesn't even go on the stove. All right, moving on. On November 22nd, I gave out all of my predictions for the upcoming Game Awards, and since then the Game Awards have happened, and I'm going to talk about everything that I got right. But first, talk about everything that I got wrong. I said Super Mario Party Jamboree was going to win Best Multiplayer Game, but instead it lost out to Helldivers 2, which is fair enough. I was just coping because Nintendo had a really lackluster year, so to say, and I just really wanted the Nintendo game to win an award. But 2025, baby! Brand new Mario Kart, nothing could ever ruin the announcement of a brand new Mario Kart. Ah, come on! I also said that Arcane would win Best Adaptation, but it surprisingly lost to Fallout, which, I don't know. I have not seen either series, so I have no ability to comment on whether or not one was better than the other. I saw one episode of Arcane, and I was like, okay, time to watch whatever now. I don't even remember what I watched. What do I do with my time? Jesus Christ. GTA 6 won Most Anticipated Game, which I said it would. Balatro won everything it was nominated for except for Game of the Year, which I said it would. And Astrobot won Game of the Year and pretty much everything else it was nominated for, just like I said it would. Reminder, I am never wrong. On December 4th, I told you all of my favorite Pokemon starters in a pre-recorded hot takes that almost nobody saw because the internet cut out right before they aired. I'm totally not salty. But since then, they've announced the starters for Pokemon Legends ZA, and, I'm sorry. Were they trying to be as mid as possible? 2 starters from Gen 2? 2 from 2? Can we flash back to what I said about Gen 2 starters in my original pre-recorded hot takes? Generation 2, worst starters of any generation, garbage, pure, unfiltered, unmitigated garbage. Yeah, that. I still stand by that. And I know I said I liked Emboar, which is Tepig's evolution, but even then, the rest of the line is pretty dull, and Emboar's like a 7 out of 10 at best. I know that these guys can get new forms and stuff, and they might be awesome, but I'm so underwhelmed by this. I was genuinely so disappointed when this came out. I guess out of the ones that are here now, I'd pick Totodile because I like the little gremlin, but even then, what were they thinking with this? Genuinely, Game Freak, are you high? Go home! On December 11th, I only had 30 seconds to do my hot takes because we had to make room for a bunch of other stuff that people totally cared about. So I just talked about my favorite ice cream flavor, and I said it's whatever ice cream flavor has the most amount of chocolate in it. And after I said that, a lot of people said, no man, the best one is vanilla. And I just think it's interesting that I had no idea I went to school with the whitest people on the planet. On February 3rd, I talked about food, which I don't have any updates to that segment itself, but in a later segment, I said that I once wrote a segment with the goal of including as many titles of AJR songs as I could, and this was that segment. I want to say I got like 15, well, I'm gonna play like a video of me running through all of them. Really play that, just play it now, cut me off, for the love of God. 3:30, 3 o'clock things. The good part of karma, drama, Joe! Hole in the bottom of my brain, adventure is out there, inertia, bang, burn the house down with week. In 2085, the trick is not put too much emphasis on any of these words, thus meaning that a title could just slip them by and they won't even realize it. On February 5th, ChatGPT, I talked about how the Eagles would totally win the Super Bowl, and guess what? The Eagles won the Super Bowl, proving that I am literally never wrong. On February 12th, I revealed that I have literally never played LEGO Star Wars in my life, and I still haven't. Stay mad about it. On February 19th, I talked about a bunch of random stuff, with the twist being that it was pre-recorded, so it was all awesome. And in there, I briefly talked about politics, but I want to real quick clarify something that I said in that segment. First of all, I want to talk about Roe v. Wade, and how I don't believe that... And you can accept that fact, or you can bury your head back in the sand where it belongs. And that's all I've got for all the updates to my takes. Now we can stop retreading old ground and move on to some original content. I can't believe you guys actually talked me into this, but we're doing a brain rot words tier list, alright? I got a big old tier list with a bunch of different words. I'm not gonna do all of these because I don't want to, and I don't even know what all of these words mean, and I refuse to look any of them up. So let's just get it started with, how about we start with the original, the classic. You know it, you love it. I can't find it. Where is it? I know it's here somewhere. Give me a second. Skibidi. What do we think of Skibidi? For me, it's like a double-edged sword, because I've heard like people use it and have it be really funny sometimes, but then other times it's a terminal dosage of cringe. So I'm gonna put it in B tier. I'm allergic to cringe, I'm sorry. And then there's mid, which is mid. I think it's just kind of like I don't know. It doesn't give a whole lot, you know? It's just like, you say that's mid, and then it's just, you move on. It's not funny, it's not super cool, and it's not like we needed this word, you know? It's not like it filled a role that no other word really filled. Just say mediocre. Just say it was eh. You know, just, I'm gonna put it in B tier as well. Mid is mid. There's a hot take. Okay, then there's sus. I like sus. I think it's good. It works, and it's an Among Us reference. Bring back Among Us. So I think because there are two S's in it, we're gonna put it in S tier. That's how it works. Gyat, for me, I just don't really get the point of Gyat. Like, it's just, okay, sure, Gyat, that's funny, but it's not that funny. It's not very funny to me. I'm gonna put it in C tier because it's harmless. You don't hear a lot of it. And then there's cap. I don't get the point to this one. Like, just say BS. Why do you have to say cap? We don't need this word. Say BS or say get fancy with it. Next time, say malarkey. Say poppycock. Say horse feathers. Okay. Instead of saying cap, say horse feathers. All right. We're gonna put this in D tier. Glaze, I like glaze. I think it works. It fills a role that no other word really does. I think it's unique. I think it's good. I'm gonna put it in A tier. Then we've got Riz. It's Riz, man. Like, I'm gonna be honest, I think this is like the mascot for Brain Rot, because like people say Skibbity, but like no one just says that in conversation, you know? But people can just say Riz in conversation and it works. I'm gonna put it in. It is good, but it's not funny, so I'm gonna put in A tier. Then there's Sigma. It's just replacing Alpha, which wasn't funny to begin with, so I'm gonna put it just in C tier. It's also maintaining this toxic masculinity stereotype that we don't need. I see vibes on here. I don't know if that really counts as like brain rot. That's always been a word, but I do like it, so I'm gonna put it in S. Goated/goat. I say that word way too often. It's kind of a problem. I really should stop, but I refuse to. So we're gonna put goated in S tier. I say it way too much. I say that's my goat, goated. Where's my goat at? It's too much. It's like the one word that has seeped into my brain and it's ruined my vocabulary. So thanks for that. I cannot find aura on this tier list. If I do later, I'll like put in like a thing about it. But I would put aura in F tier. I really, really, really don't like it. It is like the one brain rot word it actually gets on my nerves when I hear it. I don't like it, and it's like it's a dumb word just in general. Like to pronounce, like, you know, aura. You sound like a dying whale. I hate it. I don't like it. I'm not a fan. Objectively not a fan. All right, time to earn that PG-13 rating with gooning. I have mixed feelings on this word, because on the one hand, like, it's pretty funny, gooning, gooner. It's got like a certain comedic element to it, but at the same time, it's just like goon already had a predefined definition, and now when this word came along, it's like it's tainted like so much vocabulary with its existence now. Because like if you say like, oh, a villain and his goons, it's just like, whoa, what'd you just say? So it's just like it doesn't. I have mixed feelings, so I'm just gonna put it in C tier and be done with it. Then there's edging, which isn't really like a term. It's like an action, I guess. Like it's like these are all just like words, you know, but edging is like an actual thing that you do, you know, if that makes sense. It's a lifestyle. You wouldn't get it, babe. It is funny though. I think it's good to make jokes around, so I'm gonna put it in A tier, even though it kind of doesn't deserve to be there. Yapping, arguably not brain rot, because that's just a word that exists, yapping, but it's kind of been turned into brain rot. So I'm gonna put it in like, I'll put it in B tier. It's like, it's whatever. You don't hear it a lot anymore, but it's fine. NPC, that's stupid, that's D tier. It's this whole main character versus side character versus NPC garbage. It gets on my nerves. I don't like it. I'm glad we stopped doing it. It's dumb. It's stupid. There's a lot of phrases in here, I'm noticing. So I'm going to just run through a bunch of phrases, you know? Let him cook, that's a good one. That's S tier. S tier. I said S tier. I'm so cooked. Just say like, I'm screwed. C tier. What the Sigma? That was funny for like 3 weeks and then never again. But it was funny, so B tier. It's So Over. I like it. A tier. Slide into DMs. That's not really brain rot. That's just like that was already a term, you know. Slide into the DMs, you know. But it's kind of funny. Nah, it's rating a new tier right now. Not brain rot. All right, there we go. I'd make a different color, but I don't care. Red pilled. In my Discord servers, I always say red pilled, and I just post this one SpongeBob gif. So that's pretty funny. So I'll put that in B tier. Touch grass. This is just go outside, but I guess a little funnier. So I mean, I'll just put it in B tier. And then I refuse to say any of these other words in my mouth ever. So what was your favorite brain rot, and why is it not mine? A lot of people believe that comedy is subjective. What's hilarious to one person could be humorless to another. And even depending on the situation in which you tell a joke, it could completely change the reaction. So there's really no guaranteed way to make someone laugh. But I reject this reality and substitute my own. For I have developed a series of complex mathematical equations to truly break down comedy and find out what is objectively funny. Don't walk away. You might miss the good part. I mean, this is what I've been using for the past year. So even though I'm mostly going to be going bigger and better with the hour-long special, I still want to do like a couple of like chill, I don't want to say normal, like classic segments. That's a good way to put it. Classic segments. I want to do a couple of those during the special. And one thing I've been wanting to talk about for a long time, well, not a long time, just like something that's itching in the back of my brain, is board games. And I think that'd be a really interesting topic to discuss. So I think you can't talk about board games without talking about the big one, the first one, not the first one, but like the most iconic one, which is Monopoly. And I think the thing about Monopoly, whoa, what are you doing? Well, it's been a while, and I was wondering if I could come out soon. No, Jiminy, you're staying in there the whole special. The whole special? Yes. It's just that you haven't brought me any like food or water, and it's been quite a while. You don't need that. That's just a placebo, man. I guess, but also there's a raccoon in here, and I genuinely don't know if it's sleeping, if it's just twitching a lot, or if it's dead and there's like a parasite rooting around inside of it. Well, I mean, like, if it's dead, then there's no issues. And if it's sleeping, then you've got an easy kill, you know? Look, you can't come out. So just go back. Just right back. Right back in there.
Are you
bye
sure?
Bye. Bye-bye. I'm not. Go on. Back. You head back in there. There you go. There you go. Perfect. I don't even want to do board games anymore. No board games. So I'm not sure how many people know this about me. I don't exactly try to hide it, but I also not really sure how much it comes up in just conversation, but I can't smell. I have no sense of smell. I haven't had any since birth. I can still breathe out of my nose. There's no smell. And I'm not like, I feel like when people hear this, their initial reaction is sympathy, but I actually think if you like think about it for a little bit, smell is like the best sense to lose if you had to lose one of them. Because like there's touch, which I'm not really sure how or if you can like lose touch. I think you just like be paralyzed, so that's bad. Blindness is like probably the worst because it's like a really serious disability. It heavily affects the way that you live your life, you know. It's like pretty bad. That's probably the worst in my opinion. Then there's deafness, which is also pretty bad, you know, for pretty obvious reasons. Blindness and deafness are both like serious disabilities that affect the way you live. The other two that we're left with, not so much. Taste is probably the only sense that you could really argue like is as bad or worse than smell. But I think losing taste is worse because taste is voluntary. You choose when you want to taste something, but smell is involuntary. You can't choose what you smell. You just smell all of it, you know? Like, if there's a piece of poop on a dining room table, I don't want to taste that, so I don't taste it. But if there's like a piece of poop on a dining table, I don't choose to smell it, but I smell it anyways. I have to absorb the gross poop smell, I think. Is that how smelling works? That's to my understanding. Is smelling actually voluntary? Does anybody, I actually don't know. Am I wrong about this? I hope I'm not, because then that'd be very embarrassing. And a lot of people ask like, oh, you can't smell? Does that mean you can't taste? That is incorrect. That is a common misconception. I can still taste things, all right? I'm assuming that it's not as strong as a smelling person's taste, because as far as I'm aware, a lot of taste is smell, but I can still taste things. I can tell the difference between foods, all right? So yeah, that's my funny story. Oh yeah, one more thing. I don't know if I'd want to have my sense of smell. I feel like, let's say a billionaire walks up to me and he says, we've got this experimental new treatment that can regain your sense of smell. You'll be able to smell completely 100% for free and zero side effects. I'm not sure if I'd want to, because I've lived my whole life without smell and it doesn't really bother me. So like, I don't know, am I missing out on that much? Because once again, like, what if there's a stinky poop on the dining room table? I don't want to smell that, but then also like, on that same dining room table, there's delicious fresh baked cookies. Do I want to know how that smells, or would it be too overwhelming? I'm not sure. Leave a comment below, and I'll think about it. Make your argument, make your case. I'll think about those. So assuming I've actually planned all this out properly, budgeted my time correctly, and didn't procrastinate at all, this should be coming out on May 5th, which is my birthday! Yay! I was originally gonna have like a piece of birthday cake with like a candle sticking out of it, but that felt like too much work. So we're making do, and we're using a lamp instead, and it's working out great, okay? I don't want to hear anything. This is called indie filmmaking. You wouldn't get it. And since it's my birthday, I'll be keeping track of everybody who wishes me a happy birthday. And also, I figured I would just talk about why May 5th is actually the worst birthday ever, and it's awful, and I hate it, and it's awful. But I will start off with some positive things. So, what are some good things about having a birthday on May 5th? It's warm, typically, and it's on 5/5, so that's like easy to remember. Yeah, that's it. Anyways, time to be incredibly negative. So there's a holiday on my birthday. It's Cinco de Mayo. And you might be thinking, oh, that's not that bad. At least it's not on Christmas or Halloween. That would be terrible. But like having it on Cinco de Mayo is its own brand of insulting. Because Cinco de Mayo is a celebration of another country's victory in one battle, not a war, not like independence or anything, just one battle. They won one battle, and this holiday is about that, and it consistently gets more attention than my birthday. Also, this story, I still think about it, and I'm still so upset. It was like the 3rd grade, and it was my birthday coming up, and this is back when it was your birthday, everybody knew it was your birthday, okay? Everybody, would wish you a happy birthday, and you would bring in, cookies or whatever. But then, a few days prior, we learned about Cinco de Mayo, and then when I come into school on my birthday, instead of everyone saying, happy birthday, Noah, they just said to everyone else, happy Cinco de Mayo, and I swear to God, it got under my skin so much. Thankfully, one girl, I want to say her name was, Michaela, shout out to Michaela, she came up to me and she said, happy birthday, Noah, and it was thank God, somebody actually remembers this crap. Thank God. And then everyone else came around and they were like, oh, sorry, happy birthday, Noah. And she's like, it's fine. It was fine. But it has gotten under my skin and festered into a lifelong hatred for this holiday. I hate it. I hate it so much. But also, Cinco de Mayo isn't the only thing that happens on my birthday sometimes. You know, to be fair, sometimes I get lucky and my birthday's on field day. And then other times, it's on the AP US History exam. On the same year, I had to take the AP US History exam on my birthday on field day. I hated it. It was genuinely miserable. I was so miserable. And guess what? It happened again this year. The AP European History test exam thing, that's on my birthday this year. And I'm straight up not taking it. The primary reason I'm not taking it is because I am not going to spend my 18th birthday taking an AP test. Oh my God, I'm going to be 18. Oh, I'm going to be an adult. I'm going to be an adult who has never shaved in his entire life and still has baby face. That'll be fun. Okay, so maybe my comedic formulas don't seem like the most useful thing in the world, but if you do want an actual useful equation, I've got one for you. I've been asked a strangely often amount of times, hey, is it okay that I'm dating this younger person? And every single time I have the same answer, which is, do you know about the equation? And they always ask, what equation? And I'm just guys, your education has failed you. Your parents have failed you. This school has failed you if you don't know the equation. There's an equation to figure out the minimum age you can be dating someone, all right? Here it is. Do you want to see it right now? It is not that difficult. You take your age, you divide by 2, and then you add 7, and that is the youngest age that you can date someone. So if you're hypothetically 20 years old, you divide by 2, you get 10. You add 7, you get 17. So if you're 20 years old, you can date a 17-year-old without it getting too weird. And then if you want to find the inverse, the oldest age you can date someone, you just invert the equation. You subtract your age by 7, you multiply by 2, and it's the oldest age you can date. So if you're 20, you subtract 7, you get 13, you multiply by 2, you get 26. I feel like I'm shocked by the amount of people who don't know this. This is a genuinely really useful equation for when you're going to actually start dating people, especially when you get into college and stuff. So learn this, memorize. X divided by 2 plus 7, or x minus 7 times 2, all right? And for me, since I'm 18, well, I will be 18 by the time this comes out, if you do the equation of my age, you get a range of 22 years old to 16 years old, yeah. So if there's any ladies out there, how much do you think your name affects the kind of person you become? Because I know there's some statistic about how kids with last names earlier in the alphabet are more likely to be super duper smart than kids with last names that are later in the alphabet. And you can think of a couple examples, that valedictorian kid, his last name starts with a D, and that kid whose name starts with a V, he's a real stupid head. But just if you're looking for something that confirms a statistic, then you're just gonna find more evidence for the actual statistic. But also, do you think your name determines the occupation you'll have? Because the guy who is currently president of Nintendo of America, his last name is Bowser, and that definitely had an effect on the fact that he is currently the CEO of Nintendo of America. So I feel like there's definitely some effect that you can find there, at least like a little bit, you know? But one thing I've been thinking about a lot is whether or not your name affects if you can become famous, if that makes sense. Because it feels like a lot of famous people have like super catchy, recognizable names, you know? Like, for example, like alliteration. Like you have Ryan Reynolds and Pedro Pascal. The alliteration makes their names stand out more in your mind and therefore stick out more, and you're more likely to remember them, therefore making them more famous. And then that also works the same for like rhyming and stuff, like Jack Black, obviously. But I also feel like having a really distinctive last name can help with that. Like Spielberg, Hemsworth, Cumberbatch. I just said 3 last names and you know exactly who I'm talking about. But if I said like Johnson, you have no idea if I'm talking about this guy or this guy. But also every now and then you get stuck with like a celebrity who has like a pretty basic name, all things considered. Like Tim Allen, Chris Evans, Tom Hanks. Those are all basic names. I'm not hating on them specifically. Shout out to Chris Evans. But like, you hear that name, and that doesn't sound like a celebrity. That sounds like a guy you made up 5 seconds ago. But I also feel like if you looked in just like the average people, you'd find some pretty incredible names among just like the most boring people on the planet, you know? I obviously don't have any examples because if they were ordinary, I wouldn't remember them. But then every now and then you just get the most basic, boring person on the planet, and they have the most basic, boring name on the planet. Like freaking Noah Bain. Like, who the heck even is that guy? Everyone knows he's not going to Are you kidding me? Like, Noah Bain? Boem? How do you even pronounce that? This guy, he's never making it anywhere, that's for sure. Everyone's gonna forget about this couple of years. Noah Bain. Wow, man. Wow. You picked that name 5 seconds ago? Alright, so because it's hot takes, I gotta talk about video games some amounts. Okay, look. You clicked on something called the Hot Takes hour-long special. You had to be expecting video games, okay? You just had to, alright? And there's a big old video game thing happening. It's called the Nintendo Switch 2. And I don't want to talk too much about my thoughts on the Switch 2 itself, because if you've been following the news, you've heard it before. Like, oh my gosh, they put the cow in Mario Kart. Oh my gosh, Cataquack, he's back. Oh my gosh, the new Donkey Kong design. Actually, I really don't like the new Donkey Kong design. I don't like, bring back old Donkey Kong. And oh my gosh, $80 for games, that's so unreasonable. You've heard it all before. It's just, I don't need to go into it. But I will say, this is something interesting that I've been thinking about a lot with the new Switch. Isn't it kind of weird how throughout pretty much my entire middle school, high school time, I've been playing the Switch, and then literally a couple of weeks after I graduate, I move on to the Switch 2. I've been thinking about that a lot, because it's like, it's oddly thematic, you know? Like, I know this is gonna sound really dumb, but this console and the games that were on it have been a part of my life for over 7 years. And it's gonna be kind of weird letting all of that go. I mean, obviously I'm still gonna be able to play the games, and I'm excited because there's new games, but like, it's just kind of strange. It's gonna be weird, you know? It's just melancholic, I'd say. Because these games and this console have been a part of my childhood and teenagehood. And it's so strange how it lines up so well. Because now as I enter into the adult world, I'm gonna be having a brand new set of games and a brand new console and a whole lot more inflation, and that'll be fun. But yeah, it's just a little weird to me, and I guess I wanted to talk about it for a little bit. Everything's changing, isn't it? And now, a special sneak peek into how the Hot Takes guy writes his scripts. go! Is it getting bigger? I don't... Determination, drive, tenacity, conviction, fortitude, single-mindedness, doggedness? Is that the one? I need to check my thesaurus. That's what I need to do, don't I? You sound like dogma something. It is dogmatism. Did I say that? Is that what I said the first time? Okay. Steadfastness, dauntlessness, grit, valor, spunk. Today started yesterday, and tomorrow began today. So go back to yesterday and decide who you will be tomorrow. To be an individual means to be different. To be different means to face opposition. Yet opposition is not an obstacle. It is like a fire which you will be forced, and like the mighty weapons of old. And out of the fires of opposition will rise a phoenix, and that phoenix is you. You are an individual, and the world will be changed because of your actions, for you are unique. You possess assurance, follow through, hardihood. Hardihood? That's a good one. I gotta use that. Certitude, constancy, courage, steadfast. Did I already say steadfastness? Or saying it again? It's like keep on. Steadfastness. You got a lot of that, kid. Courage, decision. Decision? That's not. That's really. That's what the source.com says. I'm gonna believe the source.com. Spine. You've got all those things, and they make you you. They make you an individual. They mean that you will change the world. Today, yesterday, and the day before. Not tomorrow. You've got to think tomorrow, don't you? Woo, that was good. I like that. That was a good one. So is that everything you needed from me? Like, am I good to go?
Yeah, that was good, but it didn't really answer our question.
Oh, okay, yeah. What was the question again?
Yeah, it was just like, why did you decide you wanted to do hot takes?
Okay, yeah, I just thought, I don't know, just thought it'd be a good time, and it is a good time, just thought, hey, that'd be fun to do, and I did it, I am doing it, so yeah.
Alright.
So am I, good to go now? Is that all the questions you needed from me?
We did have one more question we wanted to ask you.
Okay, yeah. Shoot, give it to me. Tell me the question.
What's next for the hot takes guy? What are your plans for the future?
That is a good question. Sorry, real quick, do you want me to look at the camera, or do you want me to look at you?
Oh, well, you were looking at the camera.
No, because I was looking at the camera before, because I feel like I was talking to the audience more so, and now I'm like, oh, I'm talking to you.
I think it's just like either.
So is that like
it's whatever?
I want an answer, because if you don't give me an answer, I'm just gonna flip flop between the two.
But it
really
doesn't matter.
I don't want whatever's good for me. I want whatever you want. Tell me what to do. I look at the camera, or do I look at you?
What do you want to do?
Well, do not give me this. Oh, I don't know. It's whatever you want, man. That's baloney. Tell me whether you want me to look at the camera, or you want me to look at you. Welcome to the Hot Takes podcast. This is something a little different we're trying out. We're thinking about taking this in a bit of a new direction. We're trying to podcast out just to see if people will jive with it, see if it's works out for everyone. And I'm proud to announce that we're joined by our very special guest star, Monkey. You may recognize him. He's a bit of a famous fella around here. He was in one segment, and that's all it took for him to be famous. So let's get it started here with Well, Monkey, how about you just talk about, like, what do you think about the hot takes? Which one's your favorite? Which one's your least favorite? And do you have any personal hot takes you'd love to share? Are you kidding me? The dang monkey gets to be a part of the special, but Jiminy, I swear to God, Jiminy. Okay, no. Go back inside. Go back inside. Give me one good reason, one darn tootin' reason why this monkey can have this whole segment devoted to him, but I get relegated to a brief cameo, and then when I ask for a little bit more, I get shoved in the closet. Well, for one, people actually liked the monkey. Oh! No, I bet you did this on purpose, didn't you? You set up this whole little bit, and you had him as a guest star to make me mad. Was that it?
Oh,
Is that what you wanted?
The whole world revolves around you. Is that what it is?
Oh, you're one to talk about thinking the whole earth revolves around someone. You are the most narcissistic fella I've ever seen in my entire life. Why on earth would you make a segment about him on a podcast? He can't even speak. Whoa! Are you saying that he's lesser than because he's mute? I can't believe you. You are on a podcast. How can
and
he
you're
be
trying
on
to
a
justify
podcast if he is
ableism? Is
unable
that what we're
to
doing
produce
now?
Sounds with his mouth. Huh? You want to do it right now? Is that what you're doing? You're getting up your little hinky-dinky device and you're telling me how you're going to talk without any vocal cords?
Hey Hillbilly. How about you shut your ableist face hole and go back to getting swept away by tornadoes in the Confederacy?
It appears as if I've been corrected. I apologize for that, monkey. Wow, he's actually admitting that he's wrong for once. I never thought I'd see the day. Oh, do not give me this. Do not give me this. Oh, you want to talk about
Again, it's Southern garble, Southern garble. Cowboy down on the farm. Is that what you think you're doing right now? You are not intimidated. It's like listening to popcorn being popped right now, but in like Texas, man. What are you doing? What are you talking about? Jiminy, no, I don't want to hear it, okay? Just go inside, go. Okay, yeah, is this an inside knockoff? Wow, man. Wow, you watched Inside. Aren't you quirky? You're so artsy. Oh my God.
I hate you so much.
You're going back inside? You're finally going back inside?
In here.
Bye-bye. See you never.
So, are we still doing the podcast? Or would you want to take a little break
Monkey?
before we...
Just go. So somehow, in the entire time that I've been doing hot takes, there are still a lot of hot takes that I've just never mentioned somehow. I guess I've just never found the time. Maybe I didn't want to deal with everyone's bullcrap telling me about how wrong I was. But now I'm out of school, I'm done, I'm never going back, and I get to say whatever I want, alright? Strap in. I got some hot ones for you. You guys know Lucky Charms? They suck. Terrible cereal. I hate them. Mustard, bad. Ketchup, mid. Mayo, good. Ketchup and mayo? A bit of mayo chup? That's good right there. Listen carefully, because I'm only going to say this once, alright? T-shirt, shorts. That's fine. Long sleeve shirt, long pants. That's fine. That works. T-shirt, long pants? That's fine. Long sleeve shirt and shorts? No, you look stupid. Don't do it. There's this show on Netflix called American Vandal, and it's really, really good. I've never had a chance to talk about it, but I really like it, and I feel like there's a lot to talk about with it. I might end up doing like a full video about it one day. But basically, it's like a true crime mockumentary about a high school that has like a vandalism thing happen, and then the kid that gets expelled for it. These other kids try to like clear his name through like this whole documentary thing. And it's like really good. I really like it. I think like season 1 has the better story, but season 2 has the better mystery in my opinion. You should watch it. It is rated mature. It's like, get a signed permission slip from your parents before you start watching it. You guys ever heard of Hitman? It's a game series. It's really good. I like it. Everybody's always asking pancakes or waffles. I say neither. I don't like either of them, alright? I think my favorite story in any video game has to be the Pokemon Scarlet and Violet Hidden Treasure of Area Zero DLC. That sounds like a really bold claim to make. That's my favorite story in any video game, but I don't play a lot of story-focused video games mostly. But I really like that story. I like the story of Kiernan. I just think it's really good, and this is my chance to talk about it. I don't like the way that they've been doing drops in Minecraft. I liked the big updates. I just wish the big updates were better, you know? Like, they kind of had this weird thing where it was like a really rare structure they would drop in the game, and that would be their big update. And that was a little lame, but like now they just like drop like a couple, they sprinkle little things in, just like, that's not really that cool or exciting, you know? And people demanded this. Now they're going back to complaining about it. And also the mob vote. I'm upset that the mob vote's gone, alright? I miss the mob vote. I liked it, but you guys complained, and you guys got rid of it, and it's all your fault. Are you ever terrified of the fact that when you die, that's all there is of you? Like, everything you put into the world, that's all there is. And then after you die, there's no more of it. You gave everything to that world, and you'll never give any more. People will never get any more. If you genuinely like room temperature water, you deserve to go to a psych ward for it. Alright. This is my hottest take. The hottest take I will ever have. I don't like Chick-fil-A. I don't. I think it tastes bad. I don't like it. Alright, I just don't. I think it's terrible. I think it's garbage. And the best part about not liking Chick-fil-A is that whenever anyone gives you flack for it, you can just say, oh, I'm sorry, I'm not homophobic enough to enjoy Chick-fil-A. You know? Like, oh, I'm sorry if I prefer my fried chicken to have gay rights. I apologize. Is saying gay rights a hot take in 2025? I hope not, because I feel like we're past that point, all right? Shout out to gay people, and straight people, and the bisexuals, and the pansexuals, and the asexuals, all the sexuals, and any that I've missed. Shout out to everyone except the homophobes. Good stuff. That was good stuff. Good stuff. Alright, listen up. If we're gonna do this thing, we're gonna do it right. So the Minecraft movie isn't good. Alright, first of all, let's talk about the visual presentation of this movie. More specifically, the CGI of all the Minecraft stuff. I don't hate it. It's definitely a little jarring, especially as the designs try to be more human. They look weirder and more uncanny, but it wasn't an eyesore or anything, which is more than I could ask for. I just realized, is this bee gonna be green screened? Will you be a green bee screen? Will you green screen? I'm gonna hold you anyways. You don't deserve that. There are a couple of scenes where it really looks like the human characters are on a green screen. Well, I mean, I guess I want to talk. Also, I don't want to be the guy who complains about the cinematography of the Minecraft movie, but I will be. This movie is just really shot boringly. That's a word, you can look it up. And they never try to do anything interesting with the camera. I know I sound like a massive nerd, but I don't care. Have good cinematography in your movies. The Sonic movie could do it. Why couldn't you? Kind of just feels like people who were filming this was like their first time where they're picking up a camera. And speaking of people's first times, this sounds like a sex joke. I promise it isn't. This kid, he can't act, okay? I'm sorry, he just cannot do it. He is stumbling his way through the material. I am above bullying child actors. Just like, barely though. So I won't spend too much time on him, but he just wasn't very good. I don't blame him. I blame the casting director. Cast someone better. You should have cast me. I would have been great. Guess I also should talk about the rest of the cast in this movie. There's the sassy black lady. I remember nothing about her or anything she did in the movie. There's also the older girl who didn't really do much, but I do remember she used a wooden hoe as her weapon multiple times throughout the movie, and that's pointless because a wooden hoe doesn't deal any extra damage. What the heck? Get your facts straight, Minecraft movie. Then there's Jason Momoa, and I actually really like this character. He's just dumb, and that's all it takes for him to be a good character. He also fake dies for like 20 minutes and then comes back because I guess Momoa didn't feel like being on set for a couple of days. And then there's Steve, my favorite Smash Bros. Character, and the second Smash Bros. Character to be played by Jack Black in a movie. Oh wait, also, speaking of Smash Bros., in the gaming store at the beginning, we can see a Rob on the counter, and this, combined with the Detective Pikachu reference and Sonic 3, definitely confirms we're getting a Smash Bros. Movie in 5 years, okay? I don't make the rules, I don't make them, I just follow them, I just speak what they're saying, alright? You know what I'm saying, you know what I'm speaking? You know what I'm speaking, and you know what they're saying, you know what I'm saying? They're reading a Smash Bros. Movie. Marvel Cinematic Universe, but for Smashy Bros. Anyways, back to, Steve. I mean, he's played by Jack Black, okay? The director just said, yeah, man, just do whatever you want and we'll work the movie around it. So, just Jim Carrey, but for Zoomers. Real quick, I do want to talk about the cameos in this movie and how they are so weak. Like, they just have all of the Minecraft YouTubers just in one scene, they're all together, none of them even say anything. It's like, well, what are we doing here, guys? This is your chance to have epic cameos and you just don't do it. Look, man, the cameos in this movie are absolute garbage, especially compared to the friggin' Five Nights at Freddy's movie, okay? But I will say, the Technoblade tribute was genuinely really cool. I'm glad they put that in the movie. Technoblade never dies! Anyways, it's time to talk about the story of this movie. And by talk, I mean complain, because there's a lot to complain about. This section's gonna be pretty scattershot because, like I said, I have a lot to complain about. Let's get started! Woo! Like I said, the two girls don't really do anything in this movie. While the guys are heading off on their big adventure, we just get like one scene of them walking, and then that's it for their story. They show this big amusement park thing that Steve built a couple of times, but they never actually go there, and that's like, what the heck? You could have had the climax there. That would have been awesome. Go full Zombieland. I feel like there's a good amount of Minecraft stuff that they just don't really put in the movie, you know? Like, there's a lot of stuff you could have put in to make it cooler, like blazes, wither skeletons, guardians, ocean temples, snow golems, frickin' phantoms, the warden. Well, like, where are these things? I mean, I guess they like wanted to save some of that for the inevitable sequel that this movie is gonna get, but like, come on, I want to see more than just them fighting piglins. Please. They do go to a woodland mansion, to be fair, but they don't even fight any of the Illagers. Like, come on, that was disappointing. I want to see them fight a Ravager. I want to see a Ravager in the realistic style and then complain about how ugly it is. That's what I wanted to do. I obviously didn't expect this movie to be 100% accurate to the games. Like, they were gonna have to take some creative liberties in order to make the story work. I was fine with that. But they made a lot of stuff up that they really didn't need to. Like the weird Boots of Swiftness Iron Golem and the giant piglin monster. They didn't need to do that. Minecraft is already such a big, creative, massive, expansive world. You didn't need to make up stuff for this movie. There's plenty of stuff in the game. They try to have this metaphor where the Minecraft world represents like being a child and not growing up, like Peter Pan Neverland garbage, but they never actually go into depth on the metaphor or put any real meaning behind it. It's just like slightly hinted at a couple of times, and I'm just like, what are we doing here, guys? I could have done this better. But at the end of the day, this movie isn't really trying to be a serious narrative. It's just here to be stupid fun. And it is stupid, and it is fun, so I guess I got what I came for. There's a lot of really funny moments, like just the piglin with the normal voice, the evil sorceress piglin kept trying to stab Steve as she died. The whole principal dating the villager, that was actually really funny. It's funny, but at the same time, I never really want to come back to this movie. You know, I got everything I wanted. I'm getting out of here and just moving on to the next movie, okay? You know, you get that? Of course you do. Oh, also, I didn't have a good place to put this in the script, but I had to mention it. If you go to Rotten Tomatoes and you go to the Minecraft movie and then you check like the audience score summary, that's like a thing they have, it like summarizes everyone's reviews of the movie. You go there and the first line is, beyond being a fertile meme factory, those words should never be allowed within 30 feet of each other or a school zone. Anyways, I figured I would just end this segment off with doing a big ranking of all the video game movies that have come out in recent years that I've seen. I haven't seen Mortal Kombat, I'm sorry. I'm just gonna review the ones I have seen. In 7th place, I'm putting the Minecraft movie for literally every single thing that I just explained. In 6th place, I'm putting the Five Nights at Freddy's movie. It's not good, and it's not great. It's just not good. I don't know why I need to clarify not great. Like, not good already implies not great. It's just like, whatever, man. It doesn't really do a good job being a horror movie. It just kind of falls flat on its face. But it is funny, and MatPat is in it. Number 5 and number 4, we're putting Sonic the Hedgehog 1 and Sonic the Hedgehog 2, respectively. They're fine. I just kind of look at those and go, yeah, those are movies. Can we get to the 3rd one now? Number 3, I'm putting Mario movie. I can't really claim that this is a really well-constructed movie in terms of the story and the pacing and the blah, blah, blah. But, like, I can't deny I had a smile on my face the entire time I was watching this. Every single time I heard a piece of music from the games, I pointed at the screen and I went, that's a reference. And I love references. I'm a big reference guy, if you didn't know. You make a reference I get, and she's like, we're friends now. It's in my Tinder bio, actually, that I'm a big reference guy. But if you make a reference I don't get, and it's like, kills the conversation, kills the connection. Sorry, I have to be upfront with you people, you know. Number 2, did someone say number 2? I heard number 2. Number 2 is Detective Pikachu, Pikachu Detective. I really like this movie, and I feel like we don't talk about this movie enough, you know? It's good, it's solid, Ryan Reynolds is perfect casting, and it's great. I should have had a Pokemon plushie instead of a bee for this segment. That would have been a funny twist. Maybe it's just like Galarian Combee. We're gonna say that. This is Galarian Combee. This is a fact now. And then at number 1, it's Sonic the Hedgehog 3. Even without a date, it's pretty funny. Carries, what more do you want from me? And then coming in at number 0, the new best video game movie coming out December 8th. It's the freaking Five Nights at Freddy's 2 movie, baby. Look, it might be good. And if there's any ladies, I'm just kidding. I'm not doing that bit again. That wasn't very funny the first. No, it was funny the first time, but it's not funny anymore. At a certain point, it's sad. Just like me. Oh my god, I am really running out of places to film, aren't I? So in the entirety that I have done Hot Takes, there are only 2 segments that I fully scripted and then scrapped. And I figured I'd talk about them now. One of them was a Minecraft wood ranking, which would have happened during the Summit for Justice week, which I thought is like, oh, it's themed because it's nature. But then there was no time during the week, and then I just thought, well, it's not really that interesting because I already did Minecraft doors, so I just scrapped it. I don't know. And the second one I did was it's more of a rant. It's actually in the original 4 runs that I did, not my senior year, my junior year. The final segment was originally going to be about nostalgia and how it's used in movies and how that sucks. It kind of turned into more of a rant, I guess, and I wasn't really a fan of that kind of thing. But I would have talked about, like, how them bringing back the old Ghostbusters is dumb. Beetlejuice is a stupid idea. Why do we need a sequel to Beetlejuice? The fact that the Spider-Man came back in Spider-Man No Way Home, that's kind of stupid. No one's talked about it. Michael Keaton Batman and The Flash, it's dumb. It would have been a whole bunch of examples and me just kind of ranting about it. I thought about bringing it back for this special, but I'm already talking about Marvel way too much. And I feel like I would have just ended up talking about a lot more Marvel stuff, so I decided to get rid of it because it felt too repetitive. There is one segment that I remember I wanted to do it. I remember I had this idea, but then I forgot about it, and then by the time I remembered, I was out of time. I had to script, like, I already had all the segments I wanted to do for, like, my final segments, and then this one just would have gotten in the way. It was about the stupid debate of, like, what color folder do you use for these school subjects? And, like, I could have done it in the special, but I don't think it would have hit as hard because part of the joke would have been, like,
this is a stupid debate. Why am I talking about this? I would have been like reluctant to do it. I would have been like, oh, I have no idea for this week. I didn't script anything, so I guess I'm just using my break in case of emergency. And then I would have talked about it for a little while, and then it would have been like, this is dumb, this is stupid, this is a dumb debate. I guess I'll talk about it here briefly. I used green for science, blue for social studies / history, orange for math, and for foreign language, I always took Spanish, so I used red. And then English and theology, I don't care. I just don't. Like, I guess yellow for English, purple for theology, but at the same time, I'm not, like, married to these claims. Like, I have this accordion folder with, like, it's got the cascading folders, so I just go first period is front, last period is back, and that's just how my system works. Occasionally, like, I'll switch a folder out if I have a really strong feeling about something, like, I do have a really strong feeling about blue being history. But at the end of the day, I'm not super sold on this idea, and this would have been way funnier if I did it in a normal segment. Gosh, dang it. There's never enough time, is there? There's never enough time to do everything. There's never enough time, is there? Unless...
Hi, I'm Noah Boehm, founder, president, main star, and employee of the month for 216 consecutive months at Noah Boehm Studios. And today, I'm proud and excited to announce what we're going to be doing with one of our biggest franchises, Hot Takes. The Hot Takes show started in April of 2024 and delivered weekly segments to a morning announcements program, delivering fresh, new, hot takes. And in May of 2025, the Hot Takes hour-long special really broke new ground with the franchise, delivering a completely new experience, yet unseen. Many believed that the Hot Takes hour-long special would mark the end of the Hot Takes franchise, but we believe that we have found a way to continue the story in a bold new direction. Ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to present the Hot Takes Cinematic Universe. We hope you're just as excited as we are to introduce this new era of Hot Takes, and we hope we'll have your support throughout all of these projects. That was good. That was really good. I feel good about that one. Because we're gonna start taking out the cameras and everything, so we're just gonna. Who are you? I'm you. From 30 years in the future. The future? Wait, then why do we look like we're like the same age? It turns out we're actually stuck looking like a 12-year-old for pretty much our entire lives, you know? We never grow a beard or anything. We got a permanent baby face, you know? Also, it turns out we can't really get drunk. We just kind of get really nauseous and barf it all back up. Weak stomach, you have it right now. We're gonna have it forever. Also, we stopped being good at Mario Kart when we were around 27-ish, you know? We never find love. We are still a virgin, but it turns out that's not really funny anymore when you hit like 30, so it's just kind of sad now. But for some good news, we have successfully doubled our friend count. We now have 2 friends. Does the economy? No. Is climate change? Yeah. Damn it! Does Beyond the Spider-Verse ever come out? It actually does. It's mediocre. Fuck! Why are we even here? Buddy, I've been asking myself that question for 20 years. Well, at least we've got time travel. That's something to look forward to. Actually, no, I stole this off a different time traveler who was trying to do his own thing, and I decided to use it to come back here. What were they trying to do? Kill FDR. He undershot, and was also a Nazi. Oh, okay. So which one of my terrible futures are you here to prevent? Any of those? Which one of those, huh? Which one are we getting rid of today? None of those, actually. I'm on a mission to stop you from making the Hot Takes cinematic universe. The cinematic universe? Are you sure? That one? That's what we're doing? Because it's just like, this is like a really good idea, and something that we really want to do, you know? It was like, we planned this all out, it was like a really good idea, you know? We put a lot of work into this, into the green screen stuff and all the logos, you know, we made like 9 logos, and now it's just like, what are we doing with those, huh? What are we doing with the logos? Okay. I just think we could really, this is a really good opportunity. You want to know what happens if you do this, if you try to do this? Okay, first of all, you go to college and you think, I can balance my time between these two things. No, you can't. It actually sucks. We end up putting way too much time into the cinematic universe and not enough into our freaking studies. So we end up flunking out halfway through our junior year. I mean, that's an unfortunate hiccup, but I think... No. It gets worse. We try to go back home and we try to do it at home. Our parents get sick of us making literally zero money because nobody watches these things, and instead, after a few years, we get kicked out and dumped on the streets. And after a few years on the streets, we finally give up on this stupid project and we go right back to where we started. No, don't say it. No, please, gonna say it. Please don't say it. Please, I'm begging you. I'm gonna say it. Don't say the thing I think you're about to say. Please, God, no, you can't stop me. Please, just let me live in blissful ignorance. I swear. No. We end up as a teacher at the school we graduated from. No! Wait. Are we at least one of like the really cool teachers? He's like a really life-changing class, like a philosophy class, or one of those like a really cool English class. It was like change the kids' lives and worldview. Are we like one of those? Are we like in like Dead Poet Society? That was a bad example. That doesn't end very well, does it? Like in AP Bio? That's worse. Nope. We teach Algebra 1. Honors Algebra 1? Do we at least get paid well? Like as a teacher? Oh my God! Oh, God damn! I'm on a crack up. Jesus! Oh, never change. Never change. Except in all the ways I'm telling you to change. Never change, man. No, the answer is no. We do not get paid well as a teacher. We live in like a 1-bedroom apartment with like another teacher. He's not at the school yet. You wouldn't know who he is. What does he teach? Music? Jesus Christ. Yeah. It's bad. That's why I'm getting you to stop this, okay? It just doesn't work. But why is it this moment? Why did you try to stop this? Why couldn't you go to any other point in time to try and find a way that we could do this? And we could not live a not terrible life. You know how badly we want this. You know how much we want to do this. Do you not remember? Do you remember how much we poured into every single segment of this show? Don't even talk about that. Of course I remember. Of course I remember how badly we wanted to do this. How badly we wanted to do anything like this. Which is why I tried anything else. I tried anything else to get us to just live a normal, happy life while still doing this, but we just can't. I spent so long. I don't even know how long I spent going to any other time, trying to pull on any thread to just get ourselves a life that we want while still doing this, but it just doesn't work. It always comes back to this. We can't do this. But there has to be a way. There has to be. To do this and to make any kind of money, to just make a living off of this? No. Have you looked outside in the past 5, 10, 15 years? It's not good. It's not going good, man. And it only gets worse. There was really no other way. If there was, I would have found it. But we were made to do this. This is what we were made to do. Sometimes you're just made to do things that you're not meant to do. At least it was fun while it lasted. There you are. I was kind of looking for you. Yeah, I don't think it's so bad in here. You know, you got a light, you got pipes and such that do things. You got all kinds of stuff, really. Listen, I'm coming up on the end of the special now, and I was just wondering if you wanted to be part of the ending. Because you've just been asking me a lot to be part of the special, and I thought maybe I should kind of make an effort to... Yes, I remember how I wanted to be in the special, and then you saying no, and then you shoved me in here. I remember that. I recall that. So, do you think you wanna... I don't understand why you're so opposed to this. All I wanted to do was have fun, but you just wouldn't let me. Why? Why did you think? Why are you making this? Did you think people lacked what you did because you tried so hard, you tried to make it perfect? No. They lacked it because you had fun. But you just think this has to be perfect, don't you? You think it all has to be perfect, and I don't understand why. And of course, if it's perfect, you have to show off the best version of yourself. You couldn't show them this. God forbid they saw this. It would have been terrible. Jiminy, I don't... Look, if you just... So no, I don't want to be a part of your ending. I'm glad I'm not part of this. Go on. Finish your perfect film. I'll be in here. I'll be happy. Unlike you'll ever be. Alright, I'll leave you then. If you need anything, just just let me know. Sometimes you just don't care. Even though you kind of have to pee, you just start driving anyways, Are you gonna pee yourself? You don't know. Just one of those little risks you take in life. It's what makes it exciting. God, my throat's so sore. I gotta stop yelling about stuff.
Do you ever just realize that this isn't what you wanted? That none of this is what you wanted it to be? You think about the now, you think about before, you think about what's coming up next, and you realize that you wanted so many things, and none of them. You've gotten none of them. There's this series of dialogue I've noticed I kind of fall into every time I meet an adult. They ask me, oh, what grade are you in? I say, oh, I'm a senior. They ask, oh, so you're making decisions about college? I say, yep. And they say, oh, do you know which one you're going to yet? And I said, yep. And they said, which one? And I told them what I'm going to. And they say, what are you going to study? And I say, I'm going in undecided. And then they ask, oh, do you have an idea of what you want to study? And then I always just say, no, not really. Because frankly, I don't want to have a whole conversation about that. And that's the quicker way to end it. And then they ask, oh, are you excited about college? And I say yes. Because frankly, it's easier than saying no and having a whole conversation about it. What kind of question is that? Am I excited about having to completely start over? Every part of who I am gets all washed away as I go to a completely new place, and then within a year, I have to decide what I'm going to do for the rest of my life, for the next 60 years. And if I pick wrong, then whoops, I guess I just get to live a crappy life. And then of course, because it's the 2020s, you're choosing between either actually having a job that pays you barely living wage, or actually having a job that you enjoy. And it's either or, it's not both. You can't have both. You can't have neither, but you can't have both. And so sometimes I realize that I'm gonna be stuck in a crappy job that I hate, or I get stuck in a job that I love, but I can't pay the bills, and I have to take another crappy job that I hate in order to pay the bills. So I'm screwed, basically. But it's not just that, it's more. It's a whole lot more. I've been going to this school for 6 years, 2 years in middle school, 4 years in high school. And you want to know the amount of times that I can recall I've actually been invited to go hang out and do something with other people in all 6 years. 2 times. To my recollection, I've only been invited to do something like this, like hang out, 2 times. Not with a big friend group, even just with one person. 2 times. And I don't know if that's my fault because I just suck at communicating, or if it's their fault because they didn't invite me. And I genuinely don't know. And I'm not going to act like I'm the most social person in the world. I'm an introvert, but at a certain point, I get lonely. And I just want to be around other people. It's not like I'm a complete loner. I talk to people. I have conversations, but it's just whenever I'm around other people. People talk to me when I'm around. They don't find me to talk to me. You know, I've always had these ridiculous ideas throughout my entire life, basically, of doing one thing that just magically fixes everything. That if I just do one thing I can control, one thing I'm good at really, really well, then somehow everything will be okay. And this special, it's just another one of those. It's this desperate attempt to find something to cling on to, because you know how I said nothing is how I want it to be. Somehow Hot Takes is one of like 3 things that is actually how I want it to be. And it's over now. So I'm making this to try to find some kind of, I just prolong it as long as I can. And I'm not even sure if anyone's gonna watch this. Is anyone still here? Can anyone hear me? Is anyone still watching? I guess I'll find out. So I'm making this in just like the stupid, ridiculous hope that like if I do this well enough, if I make a perfect film, then it'll all work out. That everything could just work out the way I want it to. But that's ridiculous, isn't it? That's not how the world works. And even if it was, it doesn't matter. And in 3 months, I'm going away to college, and everything just gets swept away. I have to be a completely different person, and those 6 years I spent clawing up to be barely anything, it all goes down, and I get to be nothing again. So yeah, I spent like a month and a half working on an hour-long student film that no one's gonna watch because of some ridiculous fantasy I have that everything can just work out perfectly if I do one thing really, really well. How's that for a joke? Is that I could have done that better.
Good morning, gamer.
I really could have done that better.
Gamer. Good
I just need to do it just one more time. I wasn't ready for that to be my last time. Just one more. Just one more.
Good morning,